Hello there. Recently I had to sell off my Sony professional video monitor, and before selling it I made this short comparison video for those of you who own a PVM and want to explore IPS LCD options, or those who are thinking of buying a PVM. In this video we are going to compare the PVM to my 2017 IPS LCD monitor and see the pros and cons for using each of them for playing standard definition retro video games. The PVM is a high-end monitor lineup designed by Sony. The model that I own is the PVM 1944Q, a 19-inch monitor which was manufactured in 1993, and we are going to compare it with the HP Elite Display E190i. The E190i is a 5:4 19-inch IPS monitor with a resolution of 1280 by 1024. It has a contrast ratio of 1000 to 1 and a peak brightness of 250 nits. It also has a USB hub inbuilt. It does not have HDMI inputs but does have DisplayPort and VGA. And of course, it occupies much less space than the big and heavy CRT display. The PVM is a standard definition CRT monitor with a high quality phosphor capable of 600 TV lines and also has an automatic beam current feedback circuit to provide a very nice stable image output. It can take in two composite signals, one analog RGB or component signal and one S-video signal as input. Now let's compare them side by side. The first screen that we look at is Comic Zone. Here I am feeding the PVM with an RGB signal from an original Sega Mega Drive Model 1, and the LCD is an output from one of my emulation machines that I built using the Odroid XU4 over an HDMI to DVI converter. As you can observe in the video that the CRT has a glossy finish which can cause reflections of bright objects in the room. As the LCD has a matte finish, we do not see such an issue with it. The color reproduction is very similar but still look better on the CRT. Because of the glossy finish of the CRT, we are really not able to comment on the black levels. I can see that the camera is picking up more reflections than the naked human eye, so the CRT glossy surface should not be a bother to a classic gamer. Now let's talk about the Scanline effect, which is an integral part of the CRT retro gaming experience. The PVM produces natural deep black scan lines on 240p content, which really enhances the gameplay experience. Because the CRT is a standard definition, it can show 480 lines on the screen for an NTSC signal. As 240 lines are available for retro video games, hence the rest of the lines are darkened, which causes the scanline effect. The scanline effect can be generated by an emulator easily, and enabling it makes the gameplay experience much better. However, the fake scanlines do not compare to the original scanlines the PVM can offer, but that is a trade-off you have to take into account while choosing the correct monitor for your setup. The emulated scanlines must be set up on an integer-based scaling, else they will not provide the desired effect and make the game look pretty bad. Testing the PVM in a room with lights turned off really shows off the deep black levels and the color purity that the PVM can offer. The LCD on the other hand shows light leaks and the color reproduction looks bad due to the light leaks which were not noticeable previously. Blackthorn is a title that I used to test the black levels. It is a really dark game which was released for both the SNES and the Mega Drive. The scanlines and the bloom effect of the CRT really give a new dimension to dark video content, but the image on the LCD, appears quite flat. Now if we test a game with bright graphics like the first level of Aladdin for the SNES, we see that the LCD image quality looks a little better but does not match that of the PVM of course. Looking at these results, I can say with great certainty that the PVM is the best way to play retro video games, if you have the space of course. Nowadays, you can also use the new IPS monitors or OLED monitors, but I cannot find one in a non-widescreen size, and hence the ones available in the market will produce black bars around the SD content. If you do not have space, then you can opt for an old, smaller Sony Trinitron TV or these IPS LCDs as well. As always, thanks for watching.